obviously all of us across America have been following the Kyle Rittenhouse case. I think the fact that this has just exploded, what it's exploded into, is an absolute farce. It seems like it's a scam, and it seems like it's been blown absolutely out of proportion. So what's been your thoughts on the trial so far, and especially too with the prosecution and the back and forth with the judge? It's been very, very dramatic.
Well, this has been an absolute roller coaster. I've never seen a trial like this, and I covered numerous, even federal criminal trials here in Washington, D.C. in the past when I was with One American News. This is unprecedented, not only to see the level to which these prosecutors are going, but also the fact that you actually had Kyle Rittenhouse take the stand. That's not something you see defendants doing. And I'm actually wondering, I was talking to some lawyers about this, they were wondering if that was a nod to sort of this post-Derek Chauvin conviction era in which we're in, where a lot of people, a lot of jury watchers were looking at that and saying, you know, because of the intense media scrutiny that had been focused on that case, as well as here in the Kyle Rittenhouse case, does it make sense maybe for Kyle to take the stand and tell his side of the story? Because the media for 14 months has been spreading a completely false allegation, completely false lies. Now, all the video evidence shows that Kyle Rittenhouse acted in self-defense. That's actually clear. But earlier today, actually yesterday, at the very end of the trial, the 11th hour, the prosecution is trying to introduce what they call enhanced photo into the evidence. I call it a fortified photo that they're trying to put into evidence. Because what this is, they're claiming this thing shows Kyle Rittenhouse pointing his AR-15 at Joseph Rosenbaum or Zeminski, and then these are the guys that chase him through the parking lot, right? So they're trying to say that Kyle provoked the entire thing. Well, here's the problem. So for anyone who doesn't understand the Second Amendment, or anyone who doesn't shoot, who doesn't understand the AR-15 platform, for their theory to make sense of this ridiculous blurry, and if you watch the Human Events Daily show that was just on, you see this crazy blurry image that even after they doctor it up and fortify it, you really can't tell what's going on. For it to make sense, Kyle would have to be holding it in his left hand. And every single other photo of Kyle, from the hours and hours of video we have of this event to photos he had posted on his own TikTok, his Instagram, et cetera, it clearly shows that he's holding his rifle in his right hand and that he always carries it at something that we would call low ready or low port in the Navy. That means your right elbow is up, your right shoulder is up, and that you've got it pointed down away from anyone. This is the exact same stance that he takes numerous times throughout the evening, because even as Kyle's being attacked, he realizes that there are people in the mob that aren't attacking him, and he turns the gun away when they put their hands up, like with Gage Grosskreutz. This is completely insane, and what we're actually seeing here is what I think will be the first of many show trials that continue until really all of this, whatever you want to call this thing we're in, until all of this is over. This will not be the first time this happens, unfortunately.
Well, it seems like this is not only just an attack on Kyle Rittenhouse and his character, and I think the fact that he took the stand was shocking for a lot of people, but the fact he was able to share his side of the story seemed to really help him out. But it seems like this is an attack on the Second Amendment and maybe even the definition of self-defense.
Well, here's what it comes down to, right? If you have a right to life, then that inherently means you must have the right to defend your life, or else you don't have that right at all. It's really as simple as that. If we don't allow people the right to defend their lives, we don't allow people the right to defend their livelihoods, right? If you even go back into self-defense law and the history of self-defense law, it was tied there. They try to make this distinction between person and property today, but in the past there was no distinction when this thing first came out. If you go all the way back, and the judges brought this up numerous times, hearkening back to Roman law, hearkening back to the origins of Western civilization and these traditions that we've carried down with us, because they said, well, if I can defend my life, then surely I can defend my livelihood. If I can defend my livelihood, then surely I need to be able to defend my property. It's as simple as that. Now, of course, we have gradations there, right? If someone is merely throwing a rock, that doesn't mean you can just go shoot them, right? That's not self-defense. But that's the basic inherent genesis of where all these laws come from. So if you have a right to life, then you have a right to defend yourself and to defend your life if someone is using fatal force, or if you are presented with imminent fatal force against you. That's exactly what happened in numerous instances, numerous skirmishes throughout that evening. And this kid He defended himself, and he took steps to be able to defend himself. And when he did take the stand, he was very clear when the judge asked him and the prosecutor asked him, did you intend to kill those people? He said, no, I didn't want to kill anybody. And they asked him again and again and again for hours. They asked him. He said, I just wanted to stop the threat. Clearly that's a safe answer. And that, I think it's also the correct answer, right? Because at one point we know that he didn't, the third assailant, he didn't actually kill him. He shot him in the arm. And so that's a situation where that's the exact textbook definition you want to give. I was defending myself against an active threat to life and limb.
This is Charlie Kirk, founder and CEO of Turning Point USA. If you liked this video, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Turning Point USA.